Hello everyone. Today we'll talk about interpreting statistics. And I thought it would be a good idea if we started off with this warm-up exercise so we can review together what we learned last class. In this problem, we have 16 students in Jess's math class who measured their heights to the nearest centimeter. And this is a data set that represents the heights of the students. And as you see here, we have 16 numbers, so each number represents the height of a student. Now, what we have to find in here is the measures of central tendency and the range for this data set. Now, remember that the measures of central tendency are mean, median, and mode, and range is actually a measure of spread. So, in order to find the mean, median, and mode, we would start off by writing the numbers in order from lowest to highest. We want to do this because otherwise we can't find the median, number one. It makes it easier to find the mode as well. And why not put things in order first, right? So the mean would be equal to the sum of all the numbers divided by 16. I did this ahead of time so I could save our time explaining it, and it's something easy for us to see and understand. And I ended up with 2,723 for the sum divided by 16, so 170.2. That would be the mean. If you look at the question here, it is asking us to round to the nearest centimeter. So when I state the answer, I'm going to write here that the mean is equal to 170 centimeters, rounded to the nearest centimeter. Now to find the median, normally what I would do if I have a paper in front of me is I would use my thumbs to just cover the numbers from outside in one at a time. And I'll try to indicate this using a highlighter here on the screen. So what I'm trying to say is highlight 157, 182, and then 180, 160. So 179, 163. So you keep on doing this until you hit the middle. Now another easier way of doing this though can be this. So I can go from outside in, so I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. I think that would be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So I cut 5 numbers on each side. And I see I have a lot of numbers going in the middle towards the center. So I'd say, well, let's go one more. And let's go another one. And I see that I've hit the middle in here. So as you see, we have 2 numbers in the middle. So we're going to say that since we have 2 numbers in the middle, then we can actually find the average in order to determine the median. So we're going to write here 168 plus 170 divided by 2. So this is 338 divided by 2, which will give us a median of 338 divided by 2 is 150, 165, 169. So 169 centimeters. We found the median as well. Now the mode is the easiest one to find. And as you remember, the mode is the most repeating number. So you walk through the list of numbers that you have in here and you check and see which numbers repeat. I see these 2 repeat, 167, but I'll keep on going until I make sure that there are no other repeating numbers. So the verdict is 167 is a repeating number. So we'll say that the mode is 167 centimeters. Now the last thing we need to find in here is the range. Now remember that to find the range, we need to find the difference between the highest and the lowest number. So the highest number here would be 182. The lowest is 157. See how putting the numbers in order helps a lot. And we're going to say that range is equal to 182. That looks like 25 in here. So we're going to say the range is 25. Okay, so in other words, our data are a maximum of 25 units apart from each other. And there goes the range. Oopsie, I didn't want this. Okay, perfect. So, the next question is asking what percent of class is shorter than each measure of central tendency. So we're going to start with the first measure of central tendency, which is the mean. Now, as we said, the mean is 170, which means we have to find out how many people are shorter than 170. Keep counting then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 people would be below 170. So we're going to say 8 out of 16 are below 170, and that will make up for 0.5 or 50% of class is below the mean. Now, the next measure of the central tendency is median, which is 169 according to our calculations. So we have to count again how many people have a height of less than 169. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 people have a height of less than 169. So 50% of them. Is below the median. All right, so last measure of central tendency, the mode, is 167 centimeters. So we have to count how many people have a height of less than 167. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 people have a height of less than 167. So 5 out of 16. And we'll do some very simple calculations here. And 5 out of 16 would equal 0.3125. So 0.3125, which makes up for 31.25% of class is below the mode. Okay, now in the next question we're asked a question slightly different than what we were doing before. So Rylan is taller than 65% of the class. How many students are shorter than he is, and what is Rylan's height? Now you can see that there are 2 questions here actually. So we need to know how many students are shorter than Rylan. So that's what we're gonna take care of. So there is 65% of them, right, shorter than Rylan, sorry. So we're gonna say that 65% of 16 students are shorter. So that means, let's make this complete actually. That means that we have 65% times 16, or 0.65 times 16. And if we look at get back to that calculator here, 0.65 times 16 gave us here 10.4. So we're going to say 10.4 are shorter than Rylan. Now, it doesn't make any sense to say 10.4 people Okay, because what's a point for a person? So in this case, we're going to have to round down, not only because this is a decimal that has the first number here less than 5, but also because it's probably it makes more sense from the practical perspective, the practical view of it. We're going to round this down to number 10. So 10 students. Are shorter than Rylan. So if 10 students are shorter than Rylan, that means that Rylan must be 1 to the 11th person. Therefore, Rylan is the 11th on the list. So we're going to count again: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Rylan is 175 centimeters tall.